Well, Peter, there's something strange in the neighborhood once again, because we have a new Ghostbusters movie, Frozen Empire, sequel to Afterlife. I've never really been huge into Ghostbusters. I watched like the first two as a kid, passively enjoyed them, but I was never really a big fan. Afterlife I remember quite liking, but not loving it. I really love this, and I don't know why everyone's being a dick about it.
Bustin makes me feel meh, I have to say. I thought this was just dull. This is, I have got the nostalgia link to Ghostbusters. I remember the original movie. This just feels to me like a rehash of the same stuff we've seen 100 times before in this franchise. Give us something new, for the love of God. Give us something different. I mean, we've got a teaser of something new on this. They wheel out the old fogies, but we get Janine from the original. We get her a wrist-mounted blaster, don't we?
She never uses that, does she?
Does she for? Does she for? What's the point? What's the friggin' point? Do you know what I mean? It's like a cock tease, pardon my French, but it's like, that's the whole point of this film. It's the same stuff. Now I'm sounding like a grumpy old man. I'm sounding like Pete Venkman. This is fine. This is fine. This is great for kids. And that's probably why you like it. It's good for the younger audience, but it's nothing new. And I guess I'm hankering, I'm pleading for something new in this franchise. And I'm not getting it.
I think you're just a grumpy old bastard at this stage, Peter, to be honest.
How dare you?
Like even from the opening, like you have this kind of opening sequence with the firemen set in like 1920s or something, and they come in, the room is frozen, and there's this like hand going around the crank where it's been broken off of the guy. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Then it cuts into like a classic kind of Ghostbusters scene where the Ecto-1 is chasing the dragon. Phoebe pops out the side and shoots it. I was like, yeah, I'm loving this. So like, I went into this with such low expectations after what I'd heard about it. Didn't really hear any specifics about why people didn't like it, but just that people didn't like it. And the entire movie was baffled. I'm like, what's the problem here? It's fun. It's good. This is what Ghostbusters should be, you know?
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Ghostbusters should be fun. It should be something you can sit with the full family and watch. But my point still is, this is nothing new. It felt rehashed. Even the nostalgia hits didn't work for me. They felt shoehorned in. We just talked there about the wrist-mounted blaster not really leading to anything. Ray sees the librarian ghost, which is a direct jump to Ghostbusters 1. What happened with that then? What happened there?
It was a nod. Yeah, it was a little nod.
Oh, and that's what we're at now. Is it?
Well, you're expecting them to suck him off again.
Just give us lots of movies with nods. That's about as much excitement as we need. You don't need to follow through. You don't need to explain it. Just give us it. Oh, look, there's something I've seen before. Hey, great. Bollocks.
Maybe it's just my lack of... This doesn't feel quite too... Well, yeah, of course. I'm a simple man with simple taste, Peter. We've established this. My lack of attachment to this, like, this didn't feel really super overdone, I guess. We have several new characters that were introduced in Afterlife. I think Paul Rudd is excellent as always. He's very charming. I really like his story where he's kind of struggling to find his role in the family that he's joined, and like, are they going to accept him as their dad? I thought that was really relatable. I felt
Paul Rudd is just Paul Rudd, isn't he? He's the same really in pretty much everything he does. He's just a charming, nice guy. Yeah, I like his character in this. There's
a great scene, I think, where he comes very earnestly and just spouts the lyrics to the Ghostbusters song, where he's like, if there's something strange in the neighborhood, who are you going to call?
Yeah, I did like that. I did have a bit of a smile with that bit, yeah.
I did like, there's a sequence plays on the TV, kind of like the history of the Ghostbusters, and they like incorporate various kind of like ads for merchandise from the movies, or like there's a bit where you see the Ray Parker Jr. song of the music video of that. I thought that was great as well. I really enjoyed a lot of the storylines that they went here, like Finn Wolfhard's character. He has a kind of a trying to catch Slimer story going for a part of it. I didn't think there was enough of that. I thought that was fun. It was cool just to see Slimer again.
Yeah. He's not in it a lot, this character, is he? I mean, I quite like him as an actor, so it was a shame he's not in it more. But yeah, it was fun seeing Slimer again. Yeah.
Man, you're really just giving up, haven't you?
It didn't do anything. Do you know what I mean? It was like, oh, it's Slimer again.
Yeah, it was a fun
I did like
caper,
it when he, Yeah, I did like it when he ate the what did they call the little red dot jumping ghost thing?
Yeah, there's the little possession kind of ghost, and that I thought was a really cool element of the movie as well. Like particularly at the library when it possesses the lions, and like the camera pans down and then pans back up and it's facing her. So Phoebe's storyline in this, Dickless is given out about having a kid on the team.
Peckerman. Is it not Peckerman?
Yeah, Dickless.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You made it
Anyway,
funny.
Mary Dickless is giving out about having a kid on the team, so she's kind of been benched. There's a moment where she goes to the park and she's just playing chess, and like the pieces start moving across from her. Did it have like the Spengler theme or something playing over? It was implying that it was going to be.
It was.
Harold
Yeah,
Ramis.
it was implying that it was going to be Spengler.
But anyway, it turned out to be a ghost girl about her age. And I thought this was a beautiful storyline. So it's sort of over the movie, they kind of develop a bond. I thought like very much there was a kind of a romantic link there that the movie, it sort of implies at least. The kind of heart of the movie came from there. So yeah, I liked it. I also thought, and there's several moments in the movie where it'll link back to something it set up earlier. And I thought that this girl carries around matches. Like that's her link. She has one match in a thing. And the way that kind of played into the end of the movie where that kind of saves the day, I thought was great.
I quite liked that storyline. I certainly got love interest vibe from it. I just think it's stupid. I just think the love interest, the girl, the ghost is good, but this kid is meant to be the intelligent one of the entire family. She's the inventor. She's the Spengler and all the rest of it. Oh, there's a machine that pulls me ghost spirit out. I think I'll just jump in that. Fuck off. How are you, man? It was stupid.
Oh, no, I did think, because we see that machine earlier, there's like almost this like Ghostbusters headquarters, this new one outside of the firehouse that's been set up, and they're kind of they have these new experimental tech that they're using. So this machine can pull the spirit out of possessed items. It's never mentioned earlier in the movie that that's a thing that could potentially happen. Like she just kind of brings it up to her, well, there might be a way, and then goes into the machine. It's like, oh, you haven't told us what the consequences of this going wrong or what the odds of this going wrong are. And that's a pretty big thing, I think, because even Dan Aykroyd's character at one point says, like, I've always wondered what it would be like to be a ghost, but like, is that tech, that's tech you have access to? Why don't you just try it out sometime, you know?
I guess it's really, really lucky, isn't it, that the big bad living in the orb thing has thought this plan through so effectively. Do you know what I mean? He's convinced the ghost girl to befriend her. He's found the tech that separates her spirit, that allows him to then possess her to get him out of the ball thing to wander to the fire station, which makes no sense really. But well, look, let's not worry about that.
He's a multi-dimensional being or something, you know. He can see the.
Got you. Yeah.
This is a series about middle-aged men who just shoot ghosts with lasers. Okay, I don't know why you're being such a
Why did he go to the firehouse
at the end of the movie?
At the end of the movie, yes.
Because he wanted to get into the ghost box that they have there.
Why?
To let them out.
Why?
So that all the ghosts that the Ghostbusters have caught over the years are gonna escape. Like that's
bollocks.
That's his army. That's what they say that in the movie.
Oh, it's crap, man, crap. I'm getting a bit overexcited. It's all right, but it just makes no.
I did like the villain. It takes its time bringing him in. I think he does feel like a genuine threat. I think the design is decent. There's a moment where his horns are kind of growing, and it's like it's either stop motion or it's kind of like it's skipping frames. And I think that would have been a cool way to have the villain actually like look for the entire movie, but they kind of moved away from that. It's just a CGI thing, but it's a new one at least. They didn't just do Zool.
Yeah, I did quite like his design, mate. I think that looked pretty cool. Slightly disagree with you, James. It'll surprise you to know. I didn't find him all that menacing. I think at the start they built him up really well, because did they all die? Everybody in that room kind of explodes at some point, don't they? But then we don't get any threat from it then.
Well, there's a moment where he goes into a vape shop and kills the guy there because it says Fire Master.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so that was cool. Like, yeah, people are dying in this movie. I'm like, good, there's stakes, there's threat. On that topic, so we have superheroes now in the Ghostbusters universe.
Yeah.
Kumail and Johnny's character, and I thought Kumail and Johnny was very funny. Like his shtick kind of works, I think, in this movie for me, anyway.
You have to really take the leap of logic, don't you, and not get too het up on it, because we're talking about a film with ghosts, giant stay-put marshmallow men, all that kind of stuff. Is a superhero a stretch too far? Well, in the narrative of the movie, no, I guess not.
You hear characters talking all the time about this is belong to this god or something like that. You know, it's not that far-fetched, I feel like.
And I do like him. I found his scenes quite funny. I think he should have probably been in it a little bit more.
I did appreciate that it didn't take its time with him learning how to use it. He's just like, what am I supposed to do? Move the flame? And then he moves his hand and it moves, you know, like, all right, he's ready to go. Like, it's in himself. How do you feel about the original Ghostbusters role in this? Because I think they all kind of slotted in quite well.
No, they didn't. Dan Aykroyd absolutely does. Dan Aykroyd's playing Dan Aykroyd. I mean, I don't think he even realises he's filming Ghostbusters. I think Dan Aykroyd's just being Dan Aykroyd, you know.
Running a YouTube channel or something he's running.
Yeah, he's brilliant in it, and he really eats up his scenes, and you can tell he's having fun. Winston in it is very, very good as well. I like him, and I think his part makes sense. He's older, so he's now gone into business. I like
He's the one
idea of him.
bankrolling the whole thing.
He's your Bruce Wayne. Do you know what I mean? He's your Bruce Wayne. He's financing. I love that. Janine, not a clue why she was there. She's thrown in just for shits and giggles. She just kind of walks around.
Sure, why not? Give her a paycheck.
Yeah. Bill Murray, I don't know. Bill Murray's contracted to be in every movie, I think. He rocks up, he does his mind thing, which he does in every movie because it's part of his shtick. At the end, he turns up, just why not? Oh yeah, I'm here.
That makes sense to me. He's in New York, and New York's frozen over. He's like, well, I better head to the Ghostbusters headquarters and help out. That perfectly fits. I think it wouldn't have made sense for him to have been in New York while this happened and not helped.
What's the purpose of them, but what do they do? For me, the last movie was the perfect handover point. We could have had Winston in this movie, finance and whatnot, but I don't think you needed Bill Murray again in it. I think this film has got to serve as the, right, we're done getting into a jumpsuits and stand in a line now. It hands them over to the younger team and the new crowd, I think.
Overall, I loved it. I thought it was great. It's a blast.
There is some hate out here, but I think a lot of people probably feel like me, which is, do you know what? This is a fine movie. It's a good family movie for kids, but as a lifelong Ghostbusters fan, I don't think it's wrong for us to say I want more.
Yeah.
And that's what I want from this movie. I want something new now. I feel like we've seen the light beam of ghosts in the sky. We've seen the original crew lining up and falling over. Give us something spooky. Give us something different. Hunt some ghosts. We had the chase scene at the start, which was cool, but I'd like to see some more ghost hunting. Do you want to see some different ghosts now? And you can shove your little mini stage puff people up your arse. I'm sick of them.